Hello. I think it's like very special day for us because our series of webinars within the frames of social responsibility program organized by Cascade People and Business and Armenian HR Association is launching a very interesting topic, which is, I think like every single person will be interested in this topic, and that's why we selected it. Today we have a wonderful guest, a person that knows everything about the theme, and the theme is all about charisma and personal magnetism. We will try to open the brackets. I will try to keep silent because we have like a professional in the field that will tell everything about that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to Lusine Korekyan. Hello, Lusine. Thank you for being with us today.
Hi, RP, and everyone who is listening to us right now. I'm honored to be your guest.
I'm honored to guest you.
With everyone who would be listening to us.
Very good. I'm looking forward, really. I have a lot of questions, and we will explore this topic as much as possible. Just for the beginning, because I know like you are a passionate psychologist and psychotherapist, and I know that you have a very interesting road in your life. I would like to ask you to share a bit about your experience, what you have done in your life, and what you are currently working on.
I was born in Armenia, but I was traveling all over the world since I was born. And the last before coming back to Armenia, I used to work in Syria. Then I used to work in United Arab Emirates in Dubai. So I've got a little bit of every experience in my field. I'm a psychologist, practical psychologist of educational system. And wherever there are educational systems, I work with them, okay, whatever it is. My experiences here in Armenia, where I was the director of the foundation, which is called Armenian Foundation of Psychoanalysis and Psychotherapy. And I worked at school as a vice principal as well.
Oh.
So I'm happy to go for the topic. This is the only thing I can tell about myself, that I'm passionate about my profession. I would like to popularize it among our Armenian population, because it's still stigmatized and not everyone is trusting psychologists and they don't even know what is it. So I'm doing my best to show the people that it is very helpful and healthy to go to the psychologist, as you go to the doctors for checkups, the same way our psyche needs the checkups and needs the care.
Right. Is it because just out of the topic, I'm always thinking that the psychotherapy is not that popular just because we are getting this psychotherapy in our families? There is a stereotype, about that.
There is a stereotype. I used to come across with it all the time, because whenever you say that I'm analyst or psychotherapist, everyone will ask, who is coming to you? The crazy people? Meanwhile, it's not for crazy people. It's for healthy people who have temporary problems. They have to go to the psychotherapist and get their mind checked, and all this stuff. Otherwise, it's not crazy people go to the psychiatrists.
Yeah, psychiatrists. Yeah, that's the real, like, people really mix these two definitions. I have psychological background too, and in my time it was really like a big challenge to go and do psychotherapy. That's why maybe I went to human resource management, just because to get a job at the end.
It's a very close field.
Yeah.
You need to understand their psyche. You need to predict what kind of workers they would be for their employers.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to our theme, and let me ask my first and not the least question. What is charisma? Let's open the brackets, because everyone like knows what is charisma, but nobody knows what's its like real right definition.
Okay. The first thing I would like to say about charisma is that I love to say this all the time, because no matter which business you are in, you're always in people's business. Those who have businesses, those who work with people, they know that if you don't have people skills, if you don't know how to communicate with people, your business is always in danger. That's why we need to know what are people skills, and one of them is charisma. Okay. What is charisma? If we take a definition of charisma in theology, they say that a divinely conferred gift or power. From here, there were some, statements that charisma is not an innate thing; it's something given from above. Other definitions are personal magnetism or charm. Then a special personal quality or power of an individual, making him capable of influencing or inspiring large number of people. This is charisma. And if we say it in a simple way, the charisma is specific nonverbal behavior, which can be learned by anyone. And today I'm going to prove it. Okay. And charisma gets people to like you, trust you, and want to be led by you. Now, you probably get the point, right? Why it is needed.
Yeah, it is needed. But still, is it like inner or it is learned?
Most of the people think that it is an innate ability, not learned. But today I'm going to prove to you that it's learned. It can be learned. And even though charismatic people pick up the behavior in a very early stage of their childhood, but it is definitely can be learned and perfected no matter how old you are and when you start. Of course, sometimes it's not easy to perfect that. It's not easy to learn. But those who would like to put in their mind that they have to learn that, it is possible in any state. Of course, you may not become like Bill Clinton or Steve Jobs immediately, but with work, it will come to that point. And also, I would like to tell that why we need to know about charisma, because it's already proven that life is better with charisma. How it is better? Because charismatic people make more money. It's already, the research are backing up this statement. They experience less stress. Their projects are effectively implemented. People want to do what they want to do. You have more romantic options if you are a charismatic person, and your ideas get easily adopted. That's why we need, if you want to have a successful business, then you need to learn what is charisma, because a lot of success depends on that. And charismatic people are getting that success easily. If we look to the Steve Jobs charisma during the years, you would notice that his initial presentations were bashful, awkward, and nerdy. and he developed his charisma during his lifetime, and he worked on himself definitely, because if you see him at the beginning and at the end, it's a totally different person.
Really different person.
Also, why we need to learn about charisma, and there is a thing that charismatic people are making a very good first impression. Why do we need to talk about impression? Because there is a saying that you never get a second chance to make a great first impression. And within few seconds, people will judge your social status, your economic level, your level of education, your level of success, and they will decide how they will relate to you. Why is this? Why we, by the way, what do you think? How many seconds a person needs to accept you or to have an opinion about you?
Very few, very few.
How much?
20 seconds, 2 seconds.
It's only 2.
32. It depends how slow the person is. But
yeah, usually 2 seconds are enough to make to get an impression about the person. Why is it that way? Because we still live in our survival instincts, as it was during the hunter-gatherer times. In few seconds you should decide if you are in danger, if you are with an animal who will eat you with an enemy person, if it's a friendly one or an enemy. And that's why we usually get the impression very quickly. Also, we look at the person's eyes, and how we say, you probably heard, what are the eyes? The windows of our soul. Eyes are windows of our souls. So during that eye contact, we also get a huge amount of information, and we get an impression. Okay, and also body language is very crucial, because 93% of our interactions are made by body language, not verbally, but by body language. That's why it is.
As Professor Mehragan, with his statistics and everything. Yeah. By the way, we have a question which you already addressed, but I want to mention it. In our YouTube channel, there is a question: is it realistic to enlarge my charisma? And it seems yes.
Stay with us, and you will get to know how.
Yeah, and okay. The definite answer is yes, but how? Stay with us.
Stay with us. Okay.
Okay, and what are the criteria?
Okay, the criteria. There are 3 core elements for charisma. The first one is power, the second one is warmth, and the third one is presence. Now I'm going to unfold each of them.
The second one, can you repeat it, please?
It's power, it's warmth,
okay,
and it's presence.
Okay.
What is the power? Being seen as powerful means being perceived as able to affect the world around us, whether through influence or authority over others, large amount of money, expertise, intelligence, sheer physical strength, or high social status. We look for clues of power in someone's appearance, in others' reaction to this person, and most of all, in the person's body language. It's very big. The body language tells everything. There are exercises that you can perform to increase your power. What are they? If someone will stay with us till the end, we can send them the presentation where I have the link when the George Clooney's charisma was broke down, and it's beautifully explained there, how you exercise your power, okay? He does it with a very monotone voice. He's speaking slowly. He's very self-confident. And these are the elements that you need to develop to have more power. And also you can feel the difference if you visualize like a difference between a teenager and a judge who is delivering a sentence. This is the difference. If you can imagine yourself, for example, RP, a teenager who is very not confident and shy and all, how would be your body posture? You can even demonstrate it now. How would it be? It would like most of them like.
I feel myself as a teenager, so it's like I don't know.
and now imagine George Clooney who's walking into the room. How would?
Oh, don't make that scene, please.
So our body languages always shows what we feel inside, okay? And you can never fake it. And there are quick tips to gain an instant charisma. It's like lower the intonation of your voice at the end of your sentence. If you listen to George Clooney, you will see his voice is going down at the end of the sentence. Reduce how quickly and how often you nod. Usually people who don't listen, they nod a lot. So you have to control how much you nod your head when you're listening to someone. Also, pause for a few seconds or 2 full seconds before you speak. This is also increasing your magnetism and charisma because you're always confident that people are listening to you, even if you do the pauses, okay? This is about power. And also there is a very helpful exercise. I wish you could help me do that exercise, at least from your seat. Just imagine a big gorilla who is standing up and just getting angry because his territory was invaded. What would be his body reaction or his reaction?
Gorilla's reaction or my reaction?
Gorillas. If you are gorillas,
it's like
what did you do? You made yourself big. You made a big space for you, right? You made your voice going high, but most of all, you increased your body space, right? To see bigger, yeah, to look bigger. Okay. When you want to become confident and powerful, these are the exercises you can do, like breathe, loosen your clothes if you are wearing something which is tight, stand up and shake your body. You can just do it sitting down, shake your body, just to relax. Take a wide stand, okay? If you stand up widely, that makes you feel powerful. Stretch your arms to the ceiling, then to the side. So you made a big space, okay? Or for example, if you noticed, even the athletes who are, researchers are showing that these all moves are universal to all humans, because even the people who are blind, like blind athletes, when they do something and they win, the universal gesture is like this.
Yeah.
They all do that, even though they have never seen it before. Okay, so these are universal things that, so if you expand, inflate, try to take up as much space as possible, then imagine yourself, you can also imagine yourself like you are a 4-star general, like with a big, very big torso and everything. Yeah. So when you get your body get that postures, unavoidably, you will get that feelings as well, and vice versa. If you are in this position, like a teenager, you will never feel confident. So always interdependent, okay? When you roll your shoulders back, like if you are in your workplace and you feel like you don't want anyone notice you, you can get that, you know, even imagine that you became small, okay? Then nobody will notice you. But once you imagine yourself like a big gorilla, then everybody will feel your presence, and you will increase your charisma immediately. The second component is presence.
About, is it okay? Is it presence or warmth, or it doesn't matter?
Let's say about presence, because the core thing here is always the present. Those two are complementary. Okay. The core of charisma is presence. Being present means simply having a moment-to-moment awareness of what's happening. The human mind can read facial expressions in as little as 17 milliseconds. Okay, and it's enough for someone to notice that you do not listen, that you are not present. It means you are inauthentic, and that will ruin your charisma. If you don't have the skill of listening someone and being fully present with someone, the person will immediately feel it in 17 milliseconds. So you may experience that before. I'm sure that even if the person looks like he's listening to you, even if he's attentive to you, but his mind is wandering, you will notice that immediately, and you will feel that he's inauthentic or something is wrong there. That's why if you are inauthentic, that decreases your charisma very, very dramatically. Presence in how you make them, presence is how you make them feel about them, not about yourself. And there is a very good example about Disraeli who's supposed to be selected into being a premier minister of England. And beforehand, two of the candidates, one of Disraeli, another one, they supposed to meet one young lady in a consecutive evenings. Okay, and then the press was asking the lady that, what did you feel about these two candidates? What would you say about them? And she said that the first one, not Disraeli, the first one, when I was with him, I felt that he is the cleverest person in England. But when I was with Disraeli, I felt that I am the cleverest woman in the England. So guess who would be elected? Of course, Disraeli. So the presence is not about how you impress the people, but how they impress you. Okay, to let them impress you, to let them feel more important. Very interesting. This is one of the very important characteristics of charisma.
Also, listening skills and like reflection and all this mirroring and all these techniques that are widely used. So it goes as a component of being present, right?
Exactly. This is when you are talking, you have to have an eye contact, and you have to be very attentive to what your opponent is talking, or someone who you would like to impress, and all this stuff. So listening is crucial. If you don't listen, and even if you think ahead, what are you going to respond, that is also one of the ways that not to be charismatic, because they will immediately feel it, that you are not listening. Your facial expression will be delayed a little bit, and then they will feel that you are somehow not authentic, and that will ruin your charisma. The best example of being present is when you are in love. Remember that feeling when you are in love? You are totally, fully present with another person, right? Everything matters, the weather, the feelings, the places you are going, and you're fully present. That's why people love the feeling of falling in love. because they are totally present in their present. And
who was the prime minister that you were talking about? The name?
Israeli.
Israeli. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there was a question in YouTube. I'm like following the YouTube. I'm present, but I'm following YouTube too. So.
Full presence will show in your eyes, your face, your body language, and will be seen by the person who's talking to you. By giving them just a few moments of full presence, they will feel they respected and listened to. Being charismatic does not depend on how much time you have, but on how fully present you are in each interaction. And increasing your ability to be present not only improves your body language, your listening skills and mental focus, it could even enhance your ability to enjoy life. One of the most charismatic people that usually people talk about is Bill Clinton. And I've heard one of the Republicans saying about him that I hate Clinton before I met him. I hate Clinton after I met him. But while I meet him, man, I love the man.
Right.
His presence is very, very strong. The same way, like if charismatic person is in front of you, you will always feel the people will describe it that way. They will say like, yes, his presence is huge. When you are around him, you feel his presence. So presence is really, really crucial. So how we will increase our presence, what we do to increase our presence is to concentrate whenever you feel like you are already losing it, you are not totally present with the person, just to bring your attention to the sounds around you, okay? Your breathing, and the funny thing, to your toes, you know? Put your attention to your feelings or sensations of your toes. At that split of a second, you will bring your attention back to the present. So whenever you feel like you're losing it, and it's crucial to keep to be present with that person, just do that. Being great listener means do not interrupt, do not think ahead. Like when the person is talking, you already think of how am I going to respond to it. Don't do that. Wait 1-2 seconds before they finished and allow them to interrupt you. Not you interrupt them, but allow them interrupt you. Then you will be a great listener. And there is one technique which is a little bit dangerous. You don't have to overdo that. But when you give a person a soul-searching eye contact, the researchers are saying that if you keep looking into a person's eyes for 4 minutes, you may fall in love with the person. So if you keep that glaze, if you keep that eye contact with the person for a long time, you will be passionate about the person, and because you already know that the eyes are the windows of the soul, and they are the most mobile part of the face, and everything you get a lot of information about the person only by eye contact. The next component is going to be warmth. What is warmth? Warmth, huh?
What is it?
What is it? Warmth is a goodwill towards others. How much someone gives the impression that he or she likes us and will use whatever power they have in our favor. Okay, thousands of units of information per second. We cannot control consciously. That's why we are getting a lot from body language, and warmth is also coming mostly from body language. It is assessed almost entirely through body language and behavior. And it's not possible to fake it as well. And our micro expressions will always show the person what we feel. That's why Hollywood decided to create a new method of acting, and it's called method acting. What is it? Have you ever heard about that?
No. How you pronounce it? How you say? Can you repeat, please?
Method acting. Method acting. Because a human being is not able to control his body language all the time. When you are playing a role, you cannot fake your expressions. It makes you very tired. And usually before, actors were getting, drained when they were playing the roles. That's why they decided that because you don't need to fake your feelings to become your role, they decided to become it. That's why you will hear that, for example, one of the actresses get very thin for this role, or very fat for the role, or if they need to play a criminal, they will go to the prison. They will learn about the prison's life, about language it's used in prison. So they are trying to become it. So So this is one of the things that you have to do, and this is very effective when you feel it. Truly feel what you do. In sports, it is visualization. I'm sure you heard about that, and people visualize. Why it is crucial? Because for our brain, doesn't matter. The thought is real. The thing that you are thinking, is it a real thing or imaginary? To prove it, I would just ask you to close your eyes and imagine that you are cutting the lemon, and then you are taking the juice out of it, and you're drinking that sour lemon juice. What do you feel? What sensations your body have, especially the face?
Oh, the face. Yeah, I really don't like lemon juice, to be honest. But yeah, I can feel that.
You feel that inside of the mouth already, the sore mouth and all these sensations, right? But there was no lemon, right?
Yeah.
There is no lemon. But your body and your brain is already producing the real sensations as if it was lemon. Okay. Or for example, we all had that fear when we were watching horror movies, right? We knew that this is a movie, and we knew that actors are getting paid for being murdered in the movie, but still our body was producing the real sensations. So for our brain, doesn't matter, is it a true thing, it happened, or it's an imaginary, we still produce all those feelings. And to increase warmth, what is warmth also, if we make it general, it's being seen as warm means you are benevolent, you are altruistic, you're caring, you're willing to impact our world in a positive way. So what does this mean? You have more compassion for others. And how you do that? For example, you have to meet with someone who is nasty. How to increase your compassion so you will be truthful, you will feel it, right? There are a couple of techniques. One of them is to imagine they have wings and they are angels. Another one is to imagine that person when he was a small child, okay? And also, if you just in your mind quickly find out 3 things that are true about that person, good things. Like, for example, he didn't be late when he came to meet you. Even his shoes were polished, or his clothes are nice. Whatever it is, just feel it, honestly feel it, and then you're not going to fake your attention to that person and fake your warmth to that person.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing is you rewrite the reality, because for our brain it doesn't matter you are doing it, it's imaginary or it was in reality. How we do that? For example, if you are, imagine you're driving your car and somebody just cut off in front of you. What would you feel? What would be your reaction?
It depends. It might be, I might be angry, or I might be frightened. All depends on the situation, or I might be just frustrated, like what's going on.
Yeah, most of the people will be frustrated, right? Most of the people will react like stupid driver, or reckless driver. But if, for example, I tell you that reckless driver is a mother whose baby is choking in the seat near her, and she is driving there to take the child to rescue the child and take to the hospital, would it change inside of you?
Of course.
Okay, so whenever you are dealing with the difficult people, try to find something. We will never know that driver was reckless or it was a mother, but our feelings will change. So whenever you are with difficult people, you always feel, you always tell to yourself that they are good intention, they have good intention, or whatever makes you feel better, with uplifted feelings, that is what you have to believe in. Not that the person is trying to hurt you or try something good, okay, to think about them. Whatever will be helpful for you, you take that perception, okay? And there are styles of charisma, 4 styles of charisma. For example, if you remember, who are the charismatic people for you? Who would you call charismatic people?
My grandpa.
Your grandpa, okay.
My boss, my first boss.
Mm-hmm.
If we go, like, you want like worldwide people, or
That everyone knows.
Michael Cooley is charismatic, John King is charismatic, all our people from Stella Network.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, political leaders. I mean, yeah, if we go historically, like all leaders that were winning different wars in different times, starting from Roman Empire, ending with all this nasty world war.
But if you look at their charisma, it's different, right? For example, if you look at Dalai Lama and you look at, for example, let's say Putin, there a difference in their charisma? Do you feel it?
Yeah, the boss.
Yeah. So what are the difference in charisma? The first one is focus. Like those people who make people listen to you, to them and understand them. And they are good listeners and they are present. Okay, this is the type of charisma which is called focused charisma. The others are visionary. Those who inspire to believe in you, inspires to believe in you and your vision. Okay. Visionaries are, for example, Dalai Lama is a visionary, and also his kindness type also. There is the third type of charisma, which is kindness, and it creates an emotional connection. Whenever you feel with someone emotional connection, that means the person's charisma style is a kindness. And also authority. As you said, the leaders who made, Hitler, for example, Stalin, or many, like in China, they are president or whatever. Their style is authority,
Mhm.
authoritarian style. And now we came down to the part where people usually ask me like, okay, is it always good, charisma? Do
Yeah.
people use that?
What is the
Is there a
downside?
dark side?
Yeah.
Is there a dark side of charisma? There is a cliche which will explain this, that knife in the hands of the surgeon and a knife in the hands of criminal is the same knife. It only matters how you use it. With your intention is the matter. So whenever people are charismatic, they may use that power for good or for evil.
Mhm.
Manipulative and empathetic people both adept at reading emotions. They are both in tune in the people's emotions, but the intentionality will decide if that power is used for something good or something evil. And charisma is a language. Like, for example, I'm talking to you in English. Am I inauthentic? No, but I'm using this language for communication. But charisma is also a language of communication. If you pay attention to this, if you are fully attentive, fully present, fully warm, then you are a charismatic person. Of course, confidence is also a part of the charisma, which is, you know, helping people to get attention, to get what they want from the people. These are the components of charisma. Is there anything you would like to ask about that?
I would love to understand, let's say someone wants to practice charisma.
Mhm.
So, like, what should he or she do to like develop it?
Mhm.
Because I think the most important question is once we define it, to understand how to get it.
Mhm. First of all, those things that I mentioned, if you do only those things, like listen, do not interrupt, let people impress you,
Mhm.
be kind to them, imagine that they are the most important people in your life at that moment when you are dealing with them. All these things will increase your charisma if you use these techniques. Also, very useful when you keep your energy level up, because the people with negative feelings are not charismatic. It immediately ruins your charisma. When you keep your energy levels up, for example, to me, you are a very charismatic person. Whenever I met you, you were in a very good mood, very communicative. You would interact with people very actively, and everyone's attention will be drawn to you when you are talking. This is because you're keeping your energy level up. And when you are totally down, depressed, angry, sad, that doesn't make you charismatic. It doesn't mean that you don't have to be that from time to time. Even charisma is fluctuating, right? We say sometimes you are charismatic, sometimes you're not. It's not like every moment you need to be charismatic, but still you can keep it. If your level energy level is up, then you are charismatic at that moment. Then people say that tango is very good for to practice, because it gives you the feeling of space, owning the space, learning the power game there. How to lead, how to. Tango is very good for that. Martial arts.
No, like if you go to discotheque and dance there, is it the
The
same
thing
or
is,
different?
why they are good, that when you do it with the partner, sometimes you let him lead, sometimes you lead. So this is the thing, that you are feeling, and a feeling that you are owning the space. You learn how to own the space. But even if it's not tango, the dance is always making your energy level up. So it's always good. Uh, martial arts are very good for that, like Aikido, like Tai Chi, Qigong. They are also teaching you how to use your space, how to be in tune with your body. Meditation is very good because you are practicing of being in present moment. And very good thing is one of the things that you do the improvisations. Now in like United States, it's very popular to make improvs. They say we do improvs. So improvise some interesting like plays or scenes with someone who knows you, like small theatrical acts or whatever it is. That is also very good for increasing your or practicing your charisma. This is what like shortly, because our time is coming to the end. Shortly, I want
to let you go, you know. I really don't want you to go. That's why I'm not reminding about the time, because it is very interesting. I was just thinking when you were saying, sorry, yeah, you go.
It's very interesting and you can talk about it a lot. But shortly, I would like to say that if only you will get the point that you can learn to be charismatic and that's important for you, it's all, my mission is already accomplished.
Yeah, because first of all, this is like you understand that you can do it, and then you find the means to do it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you remember from this? What did you get from this presentation? What did you learn?
For me, it was very interesting. You know, I just made some notes for myself because there were things that were like good advices for me as a personality that is trying to do a lot of things in the life. And I think that if we speak about this triangle, like power, warmth, and presence, I think the weakest part for me is presence. Yes, because I have really very bad habit to think simultaneously about a lot of things. And sometimes and just because I'm catching quickly, sometimes I'm getting bored when I know already what the person is going to say. And I show this, and my face is really reacting. Like I can't keep my, facial non-verbal communication in the way that I really am present and I'm really listening, because I already know what they are going to say. So for me, maybe the most important insight was that okay, power, okay, warmth, but the presence is something that I have to work on. Also, I really loved this. I heard it before, but today you like reminded me this expression about the knife with surgery and thief. I really love this because in reality, everyone has different knives. It's not only about charisma, but it's about different things that we have, strengths and weaknesses and everything. And every single strength that we have is a knife. And it depends how we use it. So I really loved it. Thank you very much. You just gave me like good thought process.
What are the tips that you get for presence?
For presence, I wrote down this tongue thing when you just, I love it because it really works, and I will practice it. Thank you.
For example, one of the tips, one of the things that you can do is just look into the person's eyes to recognize and remember the color of it. Only that will bring you back. Okay, once you bring back your attention from your thoughts, because they are not with you are not with the person, the thoughts took you away from there. Once you concentrate on your body sensations, your breathing, for example, your toes, the sounds around you, or the eye color of the person in front of you, that will bring you back, and that will give you that authenticity for the person.
Let me not do this 4-minute exercise with eyes because it's really dangerous. Like better to avoid it.
But
Yeah.
on the other hand, if you have someone who you would like to make to love, fall in love with you, then you can practice it.
Yeah, just catch and tell, look into my eyes, 4 minutes, please.
Yeah, there were very famous studies about that. That when they put people in front of each other and tell them what, look into each other's 4 minutes, and people usually fall in love with each other during that.
We have a question, I think the last one for today. Actually, this is case, not even the question. So I'm in an IT meeting and people present are just dumb and they are doing damage with their stupidity. What should one do? How can I avoid making them feel stupid? Thanks.
The thing is,
kill them.
We want to talk about the warmth, because you have to imagine at that moment that the people who are sitting there, even they are stupid to you, what are 3 good things about them? You know, what are the things that you like about those people? Concentrate on that, because that will bring you into the state of kindness, into the state of, or imagine they have wings and they are most important people in the whole world at that moment for you. Okay, so bring yourself to that, or imagine those people are like when they were small, or at least imagine that if you were in their body, if you were them growing up in their environment, you would end up like that. Exactly. So try to make yourself really feel that they are not stupid, but they have some good qualities. Concentrate on that. That will give you the good, positive feeling about them.
It will go to the warmth component. Think positively.
And also there is very interesting trick that you have to understand. Charismatic people are not reactive people. Okay? They don't react to the situation, and they don't react to the people. They themselves cause the reaction with their behavior, with their feelings, with their thoughts that they are sharing. That's why we need to feel good about those people, so they will change. They will let them talk, make them important, make them feel that you're listening to them, make them feel that they're the things that they are expressing are interesting, and then they will love you, and they will let you tell what you want.
Okay. Let's go and learn charisma. Let's practice, ladies and gentlemen. I really enjoyed our today's conversation because it took me, you know, back to my early 20s something, when we were reading these books and like trying to understand what's right, what is not. Is it like, still I don't have this answer to the question about charisma, and just to need to explore more, I think, and to read more.
There is a very beautiful book. I was just working on that when I was doing this presentation. The author is Olivia Fox Cabane.
Okay.
And her book is The Myth of Charisma, if I'm not mistaken. The Myth of Charisma, or if you just Google it, it will come. She made a huge work.
So people who are watching us to know what book to read later in YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, dear. It was pleasure hosting you. It was very interesting. And have a nice evening and stay safe, please. and enjoy the life with all the power, warmth, and presence, and
present in your life.
Yes,
Your own life.
Thank you so much
for inviting me. It was a pleasure to talk to you to work with you. So many interesting things, like happened during the presentation, but also before, like your level of organization, dedication, doing everything perfect. It was very easy to work with you, and I'm grateful for that.
Thank you. It was easy to work with you too. But this is not the last one. Like it's like start of
Yeah,
something bigger.
yeah. We'll be happy to participate again.
And we have thank yous in YouTube. Thank you very much for being with us. This is RP from Cascade People and Business and the Armenian HR Association. Stay tuned, stay with us, and we are going to have a lot of other interesting sessions ahead.